I'm Jonathan from Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
My name is Ashley Steele. I am a sophomore in digital media design. I'm from Sarasota, Florida.
Basically, like, my coming out experience was me talking to my cousin, who I was there when she was born, so we've been together our entire lives.
I wish I could say my coming out story was all that interesting. I was 19 years old. My mom didn't take it that great at first. She was a little bit confused. My dad knew. He was like, really? It was pretty obvious.
My name is Una Ocean and I'm from Hollywood, Florida.
My name is Jay Collazo from Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Well, my junior year in high school, I was on a college tour trip with my school. One thing led to another, and that was the first time I ever kissed a girl. Towards the end of the trip, I was walking with my friend and I just started hysterically crying, and he sat me down on a bench and I just kept crying and crying and crying. And eventually he goes, "We have to be on the bus in 10 minutes. If you have something to say, say it." And I said, "I'm gay." And then he got this really mad look on his face, and I didn't understand why. So I asked him, I was like, "Why are you mad at me?" And he goes, "I really, really like you."
In high school, it became a little bit more serious, and that's when I kind of realized that it wasn't just a phase, but it might be something I actually am, and it was starting to become more acceptable. In senior year, I kind of mentioned it to my cousin Dina, who I later found out was gay, and my aunt, who's her mom. They told me, you shouldn't tell your mom or your grandma yet because you don't know how they're going to react, and so I kind of kept it a secret.
My name's Hannah Kornitsky, and I'm from Sunrise, Florida.
My name is Aiden Strahan, and I am from Nixon, Missouri.
I don't have one of those really big I came out and everybody knows kind of stories. The only person that I ever really came out to was my mom. I was terrified telling her that that she was gonna be super against it and not supportive at all. So I was just kind of really reluctant to say something about it. But as soon as I told her, she was just she was like "I'm gonna be here for you no matter what. I love you to death. You're my daughter."
Kind of been feeling it my whole life, but at the same time I didn't really realize what those feelings were. When I finally came to the realization about it, I was in my room with my boyfriend, and we were just, chilling, doing our thing, and I was like, well, I think I'm bi. And he looked at me and he's like, "Oh my God, finally."
I have talked to some other people, though, that did not have the kind of time that I did. Some of them lost their families. They didn't have anywhere to live.
My name is Catherine Bellier, and I'm from Naples, Florida. I started transitioning officially April 27th of this year, 2016. And I, since then, have gone through a few low periods. And when I came out to my parents, I lost my house. I was kicked out of my house. I lived in my car or on my friends' couches for a few months. Ever since then, things have really just gotten really fantastic. I've been having a great time transitioning.
It hasn't put any negative relationships really in my life. I mean, it's taken away people, but it was for the better.
I just think that it's easier for me now to be transgender because I have started to understand more of the gender stereotypes that we force onto people, and that you don't have to fit those. In order to be a woman, I don't have to wear dresses all the time, and I don't have to have long hair. There's a lot of women who don't do that, and they're completely valid as women.
I've always been attracted to women. I really have. But I've also been attracted to men my whole life too. And it was just so confusing because the definition is that it's a sexual attraction. And for the longest time, I didn't realize what I had was that sexual attraction.
It's been throughout my life, I knew that there was something that was different about me from the other people, from other boys, I guess, because I wasn't a boy. I never felt like I fit in, and that was really hard for me. And not just in terms of my gender, but in terms of my sexuality and in terms of what role I filled in society. I mean, your gender and how you express it is such a big part of like everything.
Love is so much more than romance. It's loving yourself, and that's where it begins, I believe. You know, if you don't love who you are with your entire being, and I don't see a reason in the entire universe why you can't love yourself inexplicitly.
I think the first piece of advice I'd give is to do what you need to be safe and to be comfortable.
I definitely think that it's something you shouldn't hide because it's who you are.
I think coming out day in general is more about making it safe for people to be who they are.
You really need to be sure of how you feel about yourself and love and accept yourself, because if you have that and you have that confidence and love, then however anybody else responds can't tear you down.
Don't let the idea of people judging you get in the way.
Talk to someone you confide in that you know is not gonna hurt you, because you need a lot of support. So I would talk to that person, and if there's no one that you feel comfortable yet, I would talk to myself, sit down with myself, gather your thoughts, and then eventually start talking to people so that you can start to come out and feel more comfortable.
A lot of people feel like they have to come out or they have to transition, and that puts a lot of pressure on them, and it makes them feel even worse about themselves. Maybe they're fine with some of their features that they have without having to transition, or maybe they're not in a place where they're safe to do it right now. And I think that we need to make sure that those people know that that's okay and that you can move at your own pace. And if you never get there, that's fine too.
I mean, you only live one life, so you just have to be brave and it'll be okay.
There's a world of people still working to inhibit our rights as an LGBTQIA+ community, but we have something stronger than their oppression, and that's the truth. Coming out day becomes every day. And as we learn to live visibly, we are rewarded with an unparalleled sense of empowerment. The truth alone can set you free.